And we're live.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming. Welcome back to another exciting evening here at the Late Night Gooey Adventure. Um, I am DM Grumpy Dwarf, and I have my wonderful crew here tonight. So, we are really excited about another fun evening adventure with all of you. There'll be a couple of different polls that'll be presented up that we will be asking for your advice on for some encounter options that might ensue. But other than that, I'm going to let Dell give it away with some information. So,
Just as a heads up, guys, we did get affiliate status about a week and a half ago. So we do now have subscribe options available. I know right now we don't have a lot of emotes and that kind of thing, but we're working on that. We're working on sub badges. Hopefully those will be out soon, TM. But if you want to, especially if you've got like a Twitch Prime sub laying around, um, hit us up with your Twitch Prime sub. It's something that you can do for free if you have Amazon Prime, and it supports us. It really helps us get some really cool stuff going on. It helps James get a desk. It'll help pay for some artwork for the stream down the future. Help us get some cooler stuff going on Discord, because we do have a Discord that we freshly did. We'll drop a link to that in chat at some point during the evening. It may be later during the day, but at some point we'll drop it. And just join us there, and we'll have some good times. We'll boost the server eventually so that we can do all kinds of neat stuff. And if you guys have any community, like building ideas that you want to do, we'll absolutely listen to that advice, and we'll try to make it fun for everybody involved, not just for us. But that's all I have to say. Thank you. I shield for a second, but we're good now.
all right, yeah. So we've definitely got a new Discord opened. I've been personally working on this all week, trying to get it ready for this stream. And if you do subscribe, please let us know so that we can not only thank you for all of your help and everything, but also that we have another channel open directly just for our subscribers, and that just gives a little bit of extra benefit to that. And you'll have some other questions and stuff that we will offer with you to help with the stream and to give ideas for future encounters and monsters and all sorts of fun stuff. So we're definitely going to be utilizing that as our way to talk to our community. We have a couple thank yous, so I'll let Essifer tell us about that.
Oh, well, folks, as always, we give a shout out to those who support us. Gooey Cube's given us a lot of support, and be able to definitely go check out their website and see what they've got going on. Also want to give another recognition to Loophole King and daughter for our great layout here. And let's see, we've got Heroic Journey and Nora Meld, Uncle Nick's. All these folks are giving signal boosting out on our other streams and apps. Thanks all. And of course, to everybody who comes and watches every week, mostly 12th Tone, who has been our regular viewer. Thank you so much. Back to you, DM.
All right. Like again, we definitely thank you for all your help. So, and if we have nothing else to be said, let's get right into our late night Gooey adventure. Roll it.
If I can pull it up.
Damn it, James, you ruined the timing. It's not your fault, Distance. It's James' fault.
All right, there you have it.
All right. So last we went over, as we were showing, the troop had decided to head off to Grandorf, stop there, had a drink, ran into a confrontation, and by doing so had unlocked a strange occurrence that was happening in the town of Grandorf. Upon investigating from a young lady named Malia into this chapel to find her daughter, they had stumbled on what seems to be an ancient evil that had laid wasted within a dagger below. Upon some investigation and finding what had been happening down there, they had greeted another person by the name of Hala Asa, who they were looking for at first. Confused on who to believe and which was the right person to agree with and disagree with, Del had decided to place the dagger onto Halisha, and by doing so, broke the curse that stayed upon the dagger, releasing Valsirium the Corpse Eater. In doing so, he consumed the mayor or town owner of Grandorf, took upon his body, and unleashed guards upon the whole group. By doing so, they had easily taken them out, but unknown to what would happen if they did, they grouped up into this odd conglomerate of blood and bone as it molded all together into the thrall that would be controlled by Valsirium. Finding out that many arms are very difficult to deal with, they had to take their time and pay attention and use their skills to slowly but surely whittle the muscle bound zombie down to nothing. And after doing so, finally were able to relax and calm the young lady Malia and her daughter Ganel. At that point, they decided to head out of the underbelly of this chapel, were greeted by some fellow friends of theirs from the Hanataz troop, escorted them around the chapel away from the dangers of the town now, and as they had ended the evening, riding off into the night, heading towards Tothenshire. One resting with playing a bardic tune, another enjoying some peaceful time with spell dancers, and finally our last two sitting in the back, covered in gunk and disgustingness,
As always.
had fallen asleep within the cargo. So
That's what he gets for popping heads.
Hey, that wasn't on me, all right? Someone else sprayed me.
I did that.
everything goes through the Lunios moon high in the sky, shines upon the highway that is heading towards Tothenshire. A sense of calm kind of comes across Hanataz's troop. And you all wake up after a good evening's rest. You start to hear the birds chirping. You hear Quimber yelling out a couple different commands to different carts to slow down as you start to approach a hillside heading upward at an ascent. Prendon looks over to you, seeing you kind of rolled off into a slumber. He says, "Oh, good morning. It's been a bit." figured you would have a good time to sleep, and I'd give it to you. So, we have about another day and a half's journey. But I know you do have a lot on your mind. Your music was very emotional, to say the least, last night. Is there anything that you really need to talk about?
I mean, accidentally released a demon, um, and uh, you know,
Oops.
we
It
we
had
were
to
able
happen.
to save a mother and her child, but it kind of brought up some issues with me too because I grew up for several years without a father as well. So I kind of know what Ganel is going to go through and kind of the hardships and the challenges that brings. And, it kind of brought up some stuff, but it'll be okay. These things happen, and all you can do is just keep moving forward, right?
Yeah, it's usually how it works. But definitely something you want to place within your performances. Uh, some of the best performances are life stories that we have gained. And he starts to play a solemn tune, relaxing beat. Well, we should be stopping here shortly. Um, make a small camp to eat and back on the road. I know Quimber will want to check on everybody to make sure that we all made it through the evening. Young
And I'm sure
Vezi,
there's going to be some questions.
I was going to say, yes, I have a feeling Vezi has a lot to speak to each of you about, but I'm sure she'll do it in her time, not in ours. Until then, relax, play your music, and hopefully we stop soon. I wouldn't mind stretching my legs myself. While that's going on, and you continue to converse with Crendon, um, Kenna kind of walks over to you, Essifer, and places what feels like a warm cloth near your face and kind of presents it to you. He says, "Good morning. You've slept quite a while. Um, I hate to bother you, but it's morning and we need to get this cart cleaned up."
Course.
You see, she kind of has not. The carts are very unique in the sense that most of them are self-sustaining for the people that live within them, and hers even has a small kettle and a place where she can make a very tiny fire for some tea. And she's already got the kettle going. You can see that Ganel is still fast asleep, wrapped around the doll that she was given the night before, and Malia is kind of just curled up next to her, but you can see her eyes start to open and her hair just kind of pushed all through her face at the moment, and a little pinch of the horn kind of sticking out on the left hand side from underneath her red hair, but otherwise, well, have you been working on your dances? We should be arriving in Tottenshire here in the next couple of days, and this will be a big thing for you. Your first big performance in a while. So,
Yes, I could use some more practice. Um, what I had to employ recently isn't probably not appropriate.
well, one of the best ways to do that is to teach. So, you said that Malia would probably be a great addition to our dancing. So, what I've taught you, it's your turn to pass on. So please
I understand.
give her some pointers, and hopefully she'll pick up quickly because as much as we keep as many as we can, they each have to do something. in order to benefit the troop. And of course, when we arrive at a spot, I've got a couple of things I'd like to show you. I've kind of held back until you were a little more experienced.
Okay.
She gives a quick grin and smile and wipes the hood from up behind her head, revealing long hair. And she presents you and Malia with a small cup that's ornately kind of drawn onto clay that's been hardened, and pours tea for each of you to relax and enjoy the morning. You two are greeted by nothing more than as a rock hits the back cart. You both are kind of shaken awake.
Of course.
Yep.
It's our fault you don't have friends.
And need a bath desperately.
Not my fault.
You hear from a heavier voice of Quimber. Oh, sorry about that. Hope y'all are awake.
I am
I
now.
don't think you're really sorry.
Well, hopefully we'll be close to an area that you can bathe, because even from this side of the wall, you can still smell you.
It wasn't me this time, I swear.
Yeah, I witness to that actually. But once we stop, I got us squared away. Got a plan.
We'll push close to the water to get you all cleaned up.
I could go for some breakfast, though.
We'll be stopping soon. And he's having to yell this through the cart, so it does come muffled off a little bit on your side. But you guys continue to go down the road, down King's Highway. You guys are going to go south a bit off the beaten path here. And as that does, the cart gets a little more bumpy, and you start to feel the tossing of each of you as slowly the carts kind of hit the uneven ground. Arriving you about
Riding on top of the car.
halfway. You're about halfway from Grandorf to Tothenshire, heading south along the Torrid Sound. You guys are going to stop here at this small alcove in Shoreline.
Okay.
Yeah. Was this a scheduled stop? I'll kind of go and find Quimber and see, hey, are we stopping for the night or?
Well, couple things. We're stopping to let the horses kind of relax for a moment. Make sure they get extra feed. Vanessa has been kind of in a grump that we've ran the horses as long as we have tonight. And really don't enjoy seeing eyes kind of over the top of my head at all times. Vezi has some words for each of you. She has asked for us to stop. And on top of that, getting your friends a bath would be quite useful.
Told Decimus not to touch the demon with the dagger, but you know how he is. Sometimes he does stuff, and you just can't stop him.
Right. Something tells me that it wasn't just one of you that were in this predicament. You all seem to have a sense of adventure and
Nope, it was all me.
curiosity to you.
I killed all the guards. I killed
Trouble.
the demons. I did everything.
The three of us are just enablers.
Scratches his head a little
Especially
bit.
the guy with the book.
Just a man and his hammer. That's all.
Sounds like you enjoyed your your beverages as well as your entertainment that evening, to be the least. But I do believe Vezi does have some words for you.
All right. Well, I guess maybe. Does she want to talk to us one at a time or as a group?
She didn't say.
Because Stinky here needs a bath before he goes and sees Vesey.
Yes, you can kind of see Quimber like grab both of you and just start carrying you both down to the river.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
How big is Quimber?
Quimber is
Short, but he's big.
he's short but he's big.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick him
Okay.
up and just start walking him down to the water.
No. And about the time you say that, he's starting to kind of squirm and wiggle and try to get out. But you being of the Garoon size, even he has a bit of an issue with movement. But as you guys get
Definitely
really
higher
close,
level than you.
as you guys get really close to the water, you see him kind of plant his foot against the ground and kind of wiggle and turn and almost sumo throw you off. So I do need a opposing grapple check.
Okay, I'll do. Surprisingly, my acrobatics is better. So I'm
I'm
go.
gonna say for this reason alone, though, you're
Quimber's
gonna
gonna
use
pull out the
athletics
Aikido.
because
Okay,
you guys
that's
are
fine.
combined together.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, no!
no!
That was with a plus. That was with a plus.
Anyways.
So an 18 would have pushed. So, as you can see him kind of plant his foot and push back a little bit, he uses his burly weight to just kind of overtop you into the water, and with a giant splash, he's just covered. You're covered in just the torrid sound of the calming blue water and the foam that kind of builds around you.
I'm just gonna sit up. Good times, good times.
And he looks over at you, Karis, and he's like,
Yep. I'm gonna just jump in.
You're not even dirty.
with another splash. You both are relaxing in what seems to be a calming sound off the side of the ocean.
Well,
See-
I brought them some soap.
See, maybe you and I should go talk to Vesey first to control the narrative, as I like to say.
I'm gonna take the soap. I'm just gonna sniff it. Yeah.
You use it to clean
Right.
the muck off, not just dirt.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, it's soap, but it's homemade soap.
Still got scent to it. I don't want it. What's that?
Find some
It's
honey.
not girly soap.
No, it's not really soap.
Don't you want to
It's-
smell like honey?
I mean, I do like honey.
Me too.
Is there any honey around
Careful,
here?
Pooh Bear. Yeah, I'm not going there. Come on, Del.
I don't like the fact that you two are just going to be sitting there smelling each other while you're taking a bath. Like,
You know what?
that's,
Quimber can keep an eye on them, okay?
yeah. Quimber, let's make sure it stays PG-13 in there.
I'll rough up a couple heads if I have to. But,
I mean,
you know,
I don't know how well PG-13 it can be when all I've got is a piece of cloth. Who
But-
needs underwear when you got a loincloth, right?
All right, well, you guys have fun.
Utility.
Come on, Del. Let's go.
Yeah.
I like the breeze between my legs.
as you two watch the what happens, you kind of turn your head and leave, and that gives, as Decimus is sitting like almost waist deep in the water, his head's covered, he's just drenched from head to toe. For you, at first, it almost was if you had went back in time for a moment, and the nights that you would be sitting within those cells and having the water splashed on you before an event. And for a moment, it was almost as if this was just a peaceful change to what you had originally been in. But this also reminded you of a time of how you had to fight for your life at one point. And the way you were able to gather your strength to move the mall more direct and with much more force. And as you sit there, you feel something kind of brush up against you, and almost as if your second sense kicks off of like second nature, you reach down and grab what seems to be a small eel that kind of floats by your side. So that is your.
So you have breakfast now.
Yeah. So you have breakfast now, and you also have. You've also come on to your understanding of why you have gained your savage attacker as well as your danger sense.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna bite its head off.
With a giant crunch,
Sushi.
can be heard slightly in the area. You can see him gnawing on this fully alive, non-cooked eel. It just
Didn't even bother to kill it first.
I did kill it.
Well, it's now.
it's type of sushi you don't want normally. However, your solid form and lifestyle has allowed you to kind of adapt yourself to these types of delicacies at best.
I think you pronounced dumb decisions.
No, not dumb decisions. Savage decisions.
I guess at least it wasn't an electric eel.
Essifer, you and Dell head to the large cart that Vezi sits in, with all of her intricacies within it. And you can see Satyr sitting there in front of it, and he's kind of just tapping his foot and has a grin on his face, knowing what is about to ensue.
Hello. We heard that you needed a word.
You look in, you can see her just sitting crisscross, sitting on the floor and on a purple pillow. Her white hair just kind of brushed side to the side of her face. I don't know why you do the things you do, but this time I can accept it.
Good.
We found what we were looking for. And though Quimber's not happy the way you dealt with it, I had a feeling that something was going to go bad.
It all started when Essie tripped when she was dancing. And then she bumped into me, and I played
Would
bad.
you let it go?
That was the butterfly
then-
effect.
Yeah, and then Decimus got mad because some guy was mistreating his wife, and then the next thing you know, there's just a demon loose. I mean, yada yada yada,
As one does.
demon. But we killed one of its creations.
And how did said demon get loose?
I think I remember that Decimus touched the knife to the demon,
Yeah.
and I think that's how that went.
Sure.
And then,
No.
but we did. The important thing is we killed the creation that it made. But I'm pretty sure that
Wait.
demon is just out there now.
More.
I will continue to look into that then, because we have something that toxic entering this world or entering here. Be better for us to at least be aware of its presence.
We can probably just provide a pretty decent description that maybe we could make a sketch about the human that he seems to be bonded with or have taken over. Um, that might aid some people in the future down the road. But other than that, we can provide a name uh, for research to find out how he was defeated last time. And unfortunately, I don't remember if any of us grabbed the dagger to potentially trap him in there again or not. So we may
Oh.
have to buy a new fancy dagger.
The dagger was shattered, remember?
Oh, that's right. The
Bro.
dagger blew up. Yeah. So we may have to get a new one of those.
Do you know anybody who actually makes them?
I mean, I'm sure we can figure that out. I mean, we travel all over the world. It'll be fine.
Yes, we travel all over the world, performing and entertaining, but
Causing problems.
and
Falling in and out of trouble.
yes,
Yes,
Mostly in.
I am part of the Hanatas, but I'm also a member of a secret secret
If you
agency.
tell everybody it's not a secret.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of here on assignment, like you guys know. But I mean, I'm sure that if we need an anti everybody dies dagger, it's a good place to start.
well, as it were, you are not the first group of people that I've been with that has caused commotion within this world. She literally glances over both of your shoulders directly at Satyr, and he just kind of turns his head and turns around for a minute.
There also is part of the super secret spy.
It's not a secret if you tell everybody.
But we will continue our look. We will decide where we can find more information. I'm sure Tothenshire has some sort of archive or library there that might be of assistance, though this might be something that we have to head up towards Darkenhaven for. So that might be a journey that we all might not be able to go on. They're not going to let us in Darkenhaven.
I mean, we can disguise ourselves and probably. I mean, if it has to be done, it has to be done.
Do we know what this demon's goal is, or what his plans were?
He's called the Corpse Eater, so that's probably on the list somewhere. But other than
Probably a
that,
decent hint, but other than that,
probably
want it out.
normal demon stuff. I mean, probably like taking over the world, maybe.
Well, he's probably not alone.
Chaos and ruin.
Figure he's just a puppet of something much worse, but I guess that's something we'll have to find out.
Definitely something we should keep our ears to the ground about if there's any other strange happenings, I guess.
And Tothenshire is not the most friendly place for our kind. Normally when we go here, we usually run into a confrontation or two, but they do pay well. So, figure we'd stop here. I haven't heard anything about any others being or having any other issues with blood touched in the area, so we all know that your agents are all around looking for this information as well.
And we're still a couple days out, right?
About a day and a half.
Yeah. If it's okay, I really need to. I would really like to take some time away from my duties until we get there. Um, I need to have. I need to spend some time with Sayer on a couple of projects that I've been considering.
This would probably be a good time for each of you to get with um, your companions and make sure that you all have your performances ready and anything that they can teach you or give you to help during that time. Probably a good time to do so now that we're resting, because the next time we stop, we probably won't be until we arrive in Tothenshire.
I guess Decimus and Karis are taking a bath. I guess we'll
Much
send them
needed
in.
one, from what I've heard.
Yes. I guess we'll send them in next.
I don't think it's to be necessary, but if they'd like to come speak with me, that's fine.
Well, so I can probably give you an abbreviated. Karis is going to talk about how he sang a cool song and told a cool story, and then Decimus will
And through
talk
his book at
about
people.
how he crushed a bunch of people's heads like pancakes. But I'll tell them
Melons.
that if they would
Talk
like to
to
give a
him like
report, they
melons.
can. How does that sound?
That's fine.
I Karis really likes telling stories,
I
so
know.
so he might actually be like super into like being able to tell somebody the cool stuff that happened. They did a great job. They killed lots of things that were bad, and only a couple of things that were just guards.
Eatable.
So yeah. Well, as always, Vessi, um, this has been a great talk. All right.
You see kind of Seder look over your shoulder, and he goes, I'm surprised. Normally, she's much more lively, but it seems that something has gotten to her. But we listen to what she says. We listen to Quimber, and they keep us safe.
The demon.
Yes.
And there are a couple of new arrivals. Maybe that's got her a little on edge. We've been through some dark times recently, and with the troop being new, maybe she's just nervous.
Maybe. Anyway, I've got a couple minutes. I've got some things I'd like to show you. Get you ready for our performance in a day or so. So if you would, just join me back at the cart.
Yeah.
I'm sure these are things that you will most likely enjoy. We'll be able to add to your act.
Yeah. Some things I've been thinking about are like, what if when I'm stabbing somebody, what if I stab them in like a vein so that they like bleed?
He kind of walks over to you and kind of like rustles your hair, and he's like, "Come on, let's go."
Aim for it. I call it the bloody blade.
Yeah, I
All right.
figured.
See you
We'll
all
work
later.
on it. We'll work on it.
Yeah, we'll work on
I'm
it.
going to go see to our new guests, our new members, and find them some proper clothing. More clothing.
First, I need to stop by and tell Decimus and Karis that they can go make a report too.
Go do that.
And you and Seder kind of walk down to and greet Quimber as you are stopping down at the edge. Seder walks down, washes his hands in the water, and wipes a little bit on his face.
They just like they just washed some really nasty stuff off right there.
Clean here.
Okay. Good.
They're out far enough that I don't have to worry about that.
Paris, Decimus.
Oh.
So we've been told to spend some time with our trainers a little bit. But if you guys want to go make a report to Vessi, she said it's at your discretion. She's not mad. So if you guys want to go talk to her, you can, or if you don't feel like talking, you don't have to.
I knew it'd be
Well,
fine.
obviously, I'm gonna go tell her the greatest story that was ever written.
I told her that you probably would. So she's
Good.
ready.
I think I need to at least go tell my half of the story.
Smell a lot better, but remember to put on some clothes before you go there.
I
I
got my
never took it.
loincloth.
You never take yours off.
Yep, just
All right,
completely.
well-
soaked.
Sorry.
I got some breakfast too.
I mean, why
You
did you
like-
cook it?
You like sushi?
That's what you've done there is you've bitten the head off of an eel.
Sushi?
That's not how sushi works.
Is-
But we'll
is-
talk about it
It's
later.
raw fish, isn't it?
We'll talk about it later.
I'm gonna take another couple of bites.
Oh, right. That's charming as always.
You see Seder kind of look up and just
Fine. It's probably only at worst like barely toxic. He'll be fine.
I've never had sushi before. This is pretty good.
Who taught you that word?
My handler, obviously. They ate sushi all the time. I didn't have any. They said I could have some if I win some fights, but they
Did you
never
with
did.
sushi?
Hmm?
Do you want me to like actually cook you some sushi?
You don't cook sushi; it's raw.
Look, just give me the eel.
It's raw
I'm
fish.
so glad I went back to my cart.
Slicing it as thin as I can.
Quimber kind of stops for a second. He's like, "Yeah, these two are a handful this morning." But
I mean, what do you expect from a couple of hungry big boys like us?
he goes, "Oh yeah, that's right." And he kind of walks over, and as you kind of lean down a little bit, he grabs your head real quick and puts you in a headlock. And he's like, "Yeah, this guy right here. We've got a lot to talk about." And he kind of starts dragging you away in a headlock.
Remember, he's naked.
He'll be fine.
He's got his clothes with him.
He didn't take them off. He just jumped in. Now he's just drenching wet.
Sarah, let's go do some. Let's go do anything else.
I do agree. I believe it's probably a better option. He wanders back and he heads back towards the car. While that's going on, and they start to gather the rest of their things up at the side of the water. Esper, you can now see that Kenna has pulled out outfits, props, small bit of a put together block stage, and she's trying to size up both Malia and Ganel for street outfits for performances. And Ganel's taken to this very flowy purple and blue dress that has frills on the around the arms, and well as on top of it, they've kind of decorated her hair to kind of be in the back, almost in like a small braid. You can see just her silverish white hair kind of just like dangle behind her. And Malia's still just tossing through clothing. She can't seem to find anything she wants.
Malia, what would you be most comfortable with? Kenna and her and the ones from our other troop liked to wore things that were a bit more revealing. It's a little different from where I'm from, so my outfits are a little different. How can I help you find something?
I don't know. I don't know what to.
What looks comfortable then? Go from there.
She pulls out something. It's just a. This one is a very revealing red and gold dress, cut in the back. Everything is and
Jessica Rabbit style.
almost a lot more flowy,
Okay.
but closer to like a Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Try it on. We can adjust it.
Are you sure?
Sure.
It's
That's what this is here for.
oh okay. And you can kind of
Yeah.
see her grab the dress and hop into the cart and change out. And Kenna walks over to you and she goes, seems she doesn't really believe in herself.
She's been badly misused. Her confidence is going to take some boosting. But if that outfit makes it that much easier for her, so be it. I wouldn't be comfortable in it, but
Your style is much different.
yes.
You have a uniqueness to yourself, which is what brings
All
the
boys
audience
to
that
the
we
yard.
she goes and finds the outfit that she normally wears for her. Hers takes a much similar approach to Ganelle's with purples and blues, but hers is much more revealing and much more open, um, and she has no problem showing any skin whatsoever. And uh, the purple tone of her skin just works well with the dress that she wears. It has elegance of silver within it to keep the contrast, but after a few seconds, you watch as a very shy and nervous Malia kind of slides out of the cart quietly without saying a word. And she's standing there, kind of clenched together in almost a hiding way.
Let's see you. Spin around. Show us off. It's
She does
just
a
us
little
girls.
She does a little twirl. You can see that the dress just flows out, and
That's fun. Get a little bit more
much
spin on that going.
Fun.
it's much
Fun.
different than I'm used to, but it feels nice.
And if it feels nice, it's good.
Yeah.
Now, Kenna can probably teach you a little bit more about that than I can. As she said, my tastes and my style run a little differently.
Seems you are always wearing something very flowy, but not as not as
Revealing?
Yes.
No. Um, I haven't been with them all my life. I'm a latecomer like you are. This is very, this is what I'm accustomed to from the people I came from.
You can see that Ganel kind of runs up to her and he goes, "Mommy, you look beautiful." And you can see Malia's eye, like tears, start to just kind of stream down one cheek. Um, Thank you. Um, don't know if it's really me, but I'll try my best.
You'll
And
be
as the
fine.
two mother-daughter kind of have their moment for a second, Kenna walks over to you and she says, "Now, while they're dealing with their thing, let's find out what we need to work on with you."
Which would you like me to start with?
Well, let's see what you've learned. Um, a dervish or two would be wonderful to see. See if you've gained the skill that you've been working on for months. See if you've kind of perfected the art, if it were.
All right. Finds a clear spot and begins to spin faster and faster. We're not falling over today. Well, maybe if we get dizzy.
And as you continue your dervish, you start to very elegantly go into a new form that you've been working on. One that kind of has shown you over time. Um, but these are the new, uh, the Dance of Blades, I believe, is the one that you chose, correct?
Mhm.
And as you present your dance to her, you immediately, from only a couple seconds, you start to see her. Seems you've picked up well. Forward to seeing more as we get some downtime after Tottenshire for a little bit. But definitely, your craft has improved. Should be a good show. So you have gained your second level dervish abilities. If you want to go real quick over those, since you're a special class designed directly by Gooey Cube, you can kind of go over those with the audience.
Okay. So the spell dancers, their casting is very particular in that it does not require any vocal elements, but it's all through, um, well, the dance. So it's all through motion. It's almost like the sign language of spellcasting, I think. Pero of Blades, the dervish is the one of the archetypes, which gives them special armor classes and special melee abilities, improving their attack rolls. So when you first start out with Pirouette of Blades, every time you make an attack against a creature, the enemy can no longer take an opportune strike against you. So Del, be careful. Also, my strikes would be more accurate, and we have a +1 bonus to hit with any melee weapon. It does more increase once you get up to Journeyman and Master, as with anything. But Journeyman doesn't hit until 9th level, so we have a little ways to go.
All right. So yeah, her skills and her abilities in her class are much different than you've seen before, and we just wanted to give that little bit of a description for new players and new people who are just watching the stream. Our other is, as you two continue to perfect your talent together, as she starts to spin and weave within the dance that you're performing and showing a connection. We're going to jump over to the cart that Dell has now joined Seder in. And Seder is, real quick, Satyr is around the same height as Dell, but he has this long white, platinum white hair. Goes all the way, very long hair that's braided in certain spots. This almost grayish, this like very cobalt gray skin, and orange eyes. And he brings you into the cart, and this cart now is not just what you had seen the night before, but now has a table on it, and multiple little baubles and vials are sitting out in front of it. And you have seen this type of thing before, but it has been in many, many years ago. And this was when your dad had originally been playing around with Trickster's toxins, which is your specialty class for the Agent of Jinx.
Yeah.
And these are going to be new tricks that you are going to be utilizing for combat and for skills. Satyr kind of presents this stuff to you, and over the next hour or so, you all are going to go over the different toxins and how they can improve your skills, and whatnot. And for that, I'm going to let Dell talk about that, since that's our other class.
So I get a whole bunch of new stuff this level. You're going to see Dell start fighting a little different. Dell now has picked up cunning actions, as if he were a rogue. So I can disengage, do all that fun stuff as a rogue could, as a bonus action. So Dell basically figured out that if instead of just like turning around and walking away from somebody that he's in combat, if he just like dodges a little bit and like keeps his eye on him, he can keep him from stabbing him in the back as he's running away. He's kind of picking up more of the martial abilities there. Also, I have an ability called Bloody Blade, which, let me see if I can link this actually in the dice roller. You guys might be able to see it in there. Yeah, that should pop up. So whenever I hit a creature, I can cause them to bleed profusely. They're going to make a Constitution check on their turn. If they fail, they're going to take a d6 point of damage, and they're also going to leave a trail of blood behind their wake. So that might even be interesting if we've got somebody who's running away, that we can track them with that maybe a little bit more. But this is going to keep going until they succeed or die. The other thing is, Dell up so far has been more or less a rogue. But this is kind of the transition point where I'm starting to pick up some magical abilities that connection to the Everflow is strengthening. And so I picked up Lotus of Blades, which is, as an action, I can release a bunch of spectral daggers. So these aren't real daggers. These are ethereal daggers, and every creature in the area of effect, which I can either choose as a 20-foot radius, so Dell will just basically just start spinning in a circle, throwing these imaginary daggers, or in a 15-foot cone in front of me. Everybody in that area of effect is going to make a dexterity throw. On a fail, they're going to take 3d6 of psychic damage immediately. If they succeed, they're still going to take half of that damage. I can also, as an enhancement, I can pump an extra point of stamina in there and increase the damage by 1d6. It's a new resource that I have called Stamina. It grows as I go along, and I kind of get stronger. But this is kind of the transition point. And from here on out, Dell is going to start picking up a lot more magical abilities, even getting some spell slots next level. So the agent's going to start coming into its own, where it kind of hits that point of kind of some uniqueness, as opposed to just being a bard or a rogue. So that'll be cool to see. And that's pretty much all I got.
Awesome. So yeah, for that moment, you two are going to continue to experiment with different chemicals and whatnot, and also he's going to show you how to use some of these abilities that you have heard of and seen your father use before and help you perfect these. And these are things that you and Seder have been going over in free time for quite a while now, but you are starting to get the understanding and the perfection of this skill now. And by doing so, you're now able to utilize it not only just for training, but now for actual combat. So these are definitely going to help you and benefit you during your as you grow and as you continue. And that leaves us finally with the two still sitting at the water. Quimber pulls you off to the side, Decimus, and just kind of slugs you one on the shoulder, and he says, "Well, as another strong man, your job is to make us money. We hit things harder than the other guy. It's our job. The other thing we do is we make sure that we can take multiple people on at the same time. By doing that, you make money. You've seen us do it before. I know this will be your first time being in the ring, at least without doing it for purpose of you almost dying. So remember, these are patrons, these are paying people, and it is our job to entertain and not kill our patrons." He gives you the eyes.
I can definitely do my best.
Harris, you've kind of been placed off, like he's carried him off because he's another one of the strong men he kind of follows,
Mhm.
leaving you kind of to your own. So what are you doing while all this is going on?
So, before I even bother with Vezi, I remember that I don't have a flask for holy water anymore. And in my type of fashion, I start rummaging through other people's things, looking for some sort of container.
All right. Well, being that the only two people around are Quimber and Decimus, I'd like you to. Are you doing this secretly, or are you just this is how you're used to it, and you're just rummaging around?
Oh, no. I would be going back to the camp, looking through.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily like people's personal belongings, but maybe more of the
Trash.
I don't know, yeah, like tent equipment and things like that. That maybe like our
Okay.
ale wagon or something.
Give me a investigation check.
I wish we had an ale wagon.
Stoof is. Oh no, Stoof is probably still back with the main caravan.
Go back to me.
Wah, wah.
Dang.
Rummaging through the wagon that you were in, there doesn't seem to be a flask. There doesn't seem to be small bottles. The most you've found is what looks like a very large barrel, but there's no water in it. Seems to be the only container. Otherwise, unless you're going to get like a pail.
I look at the empty barrel and the pail, back to the barrel and the pail. I take the barrel and I go back down to the stream with it.
Okay. So putting a full barrel, I mean, we're talking a barrel,
Yep.
on your shoulder and carrying it down. Quimber and Decimus are kind of conversing between the two of them and playing around and kind of going back and forth with a bit of a tussle. So they're not paying attention at all. In doing so, you come down to the thing, you scoop down, you fill, what, half full? What are you working at here?
Yeah, probably about half would be all I'd be able to carry back.
Okay. So barrel full of water.
Yep, and just right there at the end of by the stream, whip out my book, start inciting my chants to Okay.
The book you whipped out is the new book that you bought or that you found, correct?
My tome.
Your
I gave
tome.
him a
Your tome is no longer there. The
Oh,
only book you have
oh,
left. The only book you have left is the big book that Essifer gave you.
I gave that to him. Thank you,
Oh, my
because
bad.
he saved me.
Dell gave it to you.
oh no.
See?
Okay.
When you look at that book, something's weird. It's as if, though bigger and feels different, looks exactly like your original tome. The binding,
Oh, that's trippy.
coloring, they all look similar. It looks very similar. And then as you flip it over, you can see the burned mark of the confused sign in the back.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Really, Andrew smiles on us this day.
Yeah. All right. Then I'm gonna go ahead and try inciting my rights to create holy water and see if it works.
Okay. So as you open the book, you remember last time you opened this book, there were full of pages of the different writings of the different people. This is an empty book with just 5 pages filled. It has your spells in it, and it has some new stuff in there that has been written. One of the things it has written in there is in very elegant writing too. It's not like the way that it was written originally. It says, "The dead will run when you show my sign. The ones lost in law and order will run from your hands, knowing that I am there."
Ooh. Nice.
That will allow you not only to cast the spells you have, and there's been a couple other spells added randomly to your book, strangely enough, but you also now have the ability to cast Arcane Abjuration and turn undead, given your divine right from Canundrus.
Awesome.
So as you flip through your book, you now find where it says create holy water.
Holy water.
You read the enchantment out, and it's kind of weird because the way the enchantments work in it's almost as if it's, I wouldn't say pig Latin, but it's very similar. The words kind of break up and are jumbled a little weirdly than normal people would read. But within insanity and is genius, correct? So that's the thought process behind it.
Sometimes.
Right. By doing so slowly, you can feel the energy pour out of you a little bit and into the water, and you have holy water.
Perfect.
Holy water by a mad god, but still holy water.
It does the job.
It's just for loco.
All right. So now you have a whole half a barrel of holy water and a new book.
Beautiful.
A lot of holy water.
Is a lot of holy
Now
water.
we're
If it really was four loco, you could kill an entire village with that much.
That's true.
And we could get a four loco spot.
Can you imagine that much for loco? We're getting off topic. So your loss in understanding of what had just happened, but then understanding that is his way of showing you your connection. You now have a half a barrel of holy water, and you can head back to or utilize it in whichever way you'd like.
Perfect. Yeah, and now I'm just gonna carry a barrel on my shoulder for the rest of the trip.
Sounds about correct.
Efficient.
Yeah.
So walking back, you see to notice on one side Essifer, Kenna, Malia, and Ganel are kind of playing a little dance and just doing some short acts of while they're over in one side, and the other side you can finally see that Seder and Dell have popped out of the tent and are now heading back towards the rest of the group. And in the front, around where the caravan would be posted, is a bonfire, and there, Crendon and a couple of the others have helped get the food ready for the journey. So they've all started up making small meals with some fish, some vegetables that they've found either on the way or in Nevermore before they left, and some other herbs and spices that seem to be carried. And you can see Brandil, who is one that's not really been mentioned yet, but a very almost overly sized female human who has just this gleam to her, as if she sparkles when the sunlight hits her, and she's just sitting there cooking with a set of a giant pot and tossing all of the vegetables and the potatoes, and she's got fish on little spits, like little sticks. She's just readying everybody, and slowly but surely the group starts to pop out of tents as the smell starts to arise in the area as the wind carries it. One by one, they all come to grab a small dish to feed themselves.
Is this James? Is this the lady that makes clothes? Is that her job within the troop? Maybe not. That might be a different player. Never mind. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. So her main job in this notion is she is normally the magical displays. She is the entertainment for like announcing when the troop arrives by firing off magical spells in the air, and when they're leaving. It's pretty much your pyrotechnics of Fantasy World.
Cool. Right. Sit down next to Crendon.
Toss on just a little bit of eating music. And slowly but surely, each of them places themselves around the campfire. They each get their fill. And before you know it, you all are being hustled back onto the carts in preparation to head out. Anything you guys would like to do before the troop heads out?
Is this the morning or is this at night?
It's mid-afternoon, so you guys had stayed.
Okay.
You guys had arrived right before lunch to this spot, and in doing so, most of your travel, though it's a little dangerous at time traveling at night. However, you guys have learned that sometimes it's better for the troop to travel at night due to less commotion, people dealing with issues on the road.
I'm going to ride on top of one of the wagons, standing straight up.
All right.
I'm going to try to learn a little bit of agility from riding on top of this wagon.
All right. This could be entertaining.
Yeah. That's what we do here. Here at Dell Enterprises, we try to make things entertaining.
We need to climb to a place to watch. This is going to be funny.
I'm sure you'll hear it if it goes bad.
I want to watch.
All right. So, as you continue to load up the carts, each and every one of you gets back into the cart that you were originally from. You can see now that, last but not least, Quimber kind of comes back with Decimus. There's a little bit of bumps and bruises on both of them, but they both seem to be at a good spirit. As they decided to hitch back up the horses, Vanessa goes through a final check on each of them to make sure that they are ready for their ride. And in doing so, they all, with a quick crack, they all start to take off. Del, please roll me your dexterity save.
That's the wrong sheet to be on.
Somebody thinks you're going to fall.
I want to watch.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, thanks for raising. Welcome.
Well done, Del. Well done.
It's all part of the act. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
We did it.
as you see the carts take off and Del standing on
called
top of the one cart, you feel the jerk, and at first you're fine, but as immediately the horse starts to push ahead, your footing drops, and as you do, as you fall off, and you look down, and you are sitting right in a nice little pie that's been sitting in between the carts, as you are just
Take a fall. You know, I mean, if I were to fall in a combat situation, I would need to be able to absorb that kind of impact and then just keep going. It's fine.
The pie.
It was planned.
yeah.
I was locating something that I could use as camouflage. That
You
will.
see that, see as Seder looks out and just with this heavy laugh, watching you just make a mess of yourself.
Just immediately get back on.
He holds his hand out to pull you up.
Yeah, just immediately I take it, and then I vault from his hand to just back up on top of the cart.
I want to climb up on
Oh,
top
we're
of the
going
cart.
again, are we?
Yeah, I mean, takes
You
practice.
realize you can't do this very often, otherwise we'll never get out of here.
I mean, I'll just keep I'll catch up. It's fine.
I wanna try climbing up on the top of the cart. Let me show you how it's done.
I'm sure this is good.
All right. So you see Del being of normal size and of agility, kind of placing himself in a very footed area where he can be comfortable and only losing grip when he needs to. Now you see this Garoon behemoth crawl out of the back of the final cart and pull himself up, and now standing at a fullness of his size, just holding on for dear life as with nothing, trying to brace himself. I need you both to roll me dexterity saves.
By the way, for everybody that's new that just came in, once you start accumulating some channel points, you can highlight a message with 100 channel points, and you can give advantage or disadvantage to anyone, including the DM.
Yes.
So that's an option. But yeah, I'll go back to failing my dexterity throw now.
Thank you for the follow.
Oh no!
Yeah. And this time Decimus goes down. And you can all hear Ethifer laughter just flowing everywhere.
Hey, who's got the auto ones turned on?
Decimus. Wait, let me grab my book real fast. Decimus is actually not a Goliath. He is a Garoon.
Yep, I am
Which
a
is-
half Garoond, and
Yeah.
I am like 7'8", I think. Let me check my information here.
I'll show you a quick image. Um,
I'm pretty
Also,
sure.
at some point, we need to turn on some channel points betting in here, and let people bet on this kind of thing, because that would make it
Right?
even more entertaining.
oh, it would. Yeah.
Yes, it would.
Mhm.
Where did we originally have our character sheets? I might have to just like open up.
So also, if you are willing to, one of the main things we are
Oh, no.
using
Oh no, here we go. Okay.
subscriptions for and donations for is to get all of our players' artwork. The artwork is in the same style though, so it is very expensive. But if you really do like our channel, please think about supporting us that way so we can get all these awesome artworks for people. So we're really excited to get them up
Yes.
for everybody.
We're gonna
So.
get some cool stuff for the community. So if you
Yep.
got a Twitch Prime, toss it at us. If not, don't worry about it. Just hang out with us. We enjoy you guys being here.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, if you hard enough, it might knock Dell down again.
Right.
That's true. Oh,
Hey,
thanks, 12th Dome. That's what we needed.
That'll come later.
Yeah.
Yes, it will.
Later.
Eventually.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the whole
TM
thing.
Grump, I love that.
Yeah. I don't mean to make this a whole thing, but just assume that when we're traveling, that Dell is trying this and probably falling and not falling a lot. If you would like to make me make a check every once in a while, I'm down with that, but this is
Alright.
just training.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So yeah, after you hear the, and this one is not the same, so it doesn't fall off. He falls through the cart, and you hear the grumble of Quimber of, "Oh no."
Oh, he's in trouble now.
Well, just for perspective here, I am 7'9" and 300 plus pounds.
Yeah. And he just tore
So you don't fall far, but you did break it quite well.
Yeah, so between the wooden beams that held up the cloth cart, he just tears straight through and slams into it, into the bottom of the cart with a thud. And you can actually see the rest of your as the rest of the group is watching. The cart just kind of just tossles as Quimber tries to connect with all of the with the horse in front to calm it down. As
I'll fix that.
you better.
I'm going to check the axles.
We're gonna have to stop again just to fix the heart.
What all do we have for tools
Well-
and things? Do we have like a bunch of like?
So there's a bunch of tools
Axes
within
and
the
stuff?
different carts. I don't. There'd be more hammers, wedges.
Do we have like a bunch of sledgehammers maybe?
There's
You don't need any more hammers.
Say that I'm
No,
gonna have
this is for
sledgehammers.
act stuff. This is for performances.
I'm sure you can find stuff.
I need to
in the-
know what I have to work with.
You tell me what you need, and if we don't have it, we will find a way to get it.
Well, I was gonna get like some axes, like some wood cutting axes, or maybe some sledgehammers to juggle. Just basic strongman stuff.
It requires an orb of annihilation and a deck of mini things.
That's Quimber looking back, hearing all this, and be like, "You're strong, man, not talented."
I mean, I
Your
had
talent is being strong.
I've had to showboat many times in the ring. You gotta hype up the crowd somehow.
We will
It's a miss.
see what we can
I
do.
got an idea.
Are you
Let's
dead?
put
Not?
some melons out for them.
I mean,
for
it was
him to
definitely a
pop
lot
with the
easier
hammer.
when I had
Yeah.
someone that I could just play with like a rag doll, but
Yeah, what if you just squish fruit with a hammer? Would people watch that?
I don't think people would like that.
You never know.
They might for a few
See
months.
how you at each town, something a little fun and not other people's heads.
Yeah,
Add the fruit into the audience.
like sharp objects.
No, not sharp objects.
Let's not have sharp objects.
Nothing says excitement like sharp objects.
No, no shrapnel, thank you.
God. All right. So while the comedy is existing down the road, the performance will definitely be shown very quickly at the arrival.
I'm gonna work on fixing the roof on the rest of the trip.
So while you're working on fixing the roof, Karis, part of the canopy is falling down on you too. So you're kind of stuck back there with them in your frustration.
Yeah.
But
No, it's okay. We're having a
All
good
right.
time.
and you can see Ganella kind of hanging off the back end of the spell dancer tent, or the spell dancer's cart, with her feet dangling off the back of it, and she's just laughing hysterically at what is just what's happening right now.
This comically large man just falling through the roof.
Oh, she's not the only one.
So, as you guys
Kenna, you gotta come see this.
late into the night and throughout the morning, you each, what would you like to do while you're riding? Because as it gets darker, of course, Satyr is going to pull you in, Dell, and make sure that you're not being stupid.
More.
That's offensive. But yeah, I mean, I'm all day. I'm riding on top of this wagon until he makes me come down.
Yeah. So it won't be until the sun starts to go behind the Wormrest Mountains that you start to feel and see the darkness start to arrive. And as it does, and it starts to creep, the horses will slow down a little bit, and you'll start to see that the lanterns will be lit to keep somewhat light as you guys start to head farther and farther south towards southwest towards Tothenshire, which should, with this movement and with any sort of issue, with no issues, you should arrive late morning.
Okay. Yeah, that's exciting. I'm excited to get to Tothenshire. I'm gonna go and see if the spell dancers have a costume that will fit me.
All right. So hopping out of your tent at
Something that's like, 4 men, but
little after dusk, and waiting for the next cart to go past, and he kind of hops in and peeks his head through the tent, the canopy. You can see the four of them, or the four of them just sitting there chatting and talking.
for that, I go and get Decimus and Karis too, and bring them with me.
Why are we doing this?
Well, Decimus and I are working on a new act, where as we come into town, we ride on top of the wagons. Yeah, we're gonna ride in on top of the wagons as we come into town, and we're gonna do like some acrobatics and some flips.
Do acrobatics. I may be large, but
it's gonna be great. But we need costumes
Maybe
so that we stand
not
out.
on top of the carts. Can you stop breaking them? How about on one of the open wagons? Well, at least Decimus.
I mean, maybe I can just do some like handsprings alongside of the carts.
I mean, picture this: I'm on top of the cart, and there's a ball on top of the cart, and then there's a piece of wood on top of the ball, and then on top of that is me, and I'm like rolling back and forth on this ball as we come into town. You know,
How
like
about if
I mean, that sounds great, but I'm like 200 pounds more than you. We saw what
What if
happened
I-
last time I got on the roof.
man, I see. My plan was like you could stand there, and then I could stand on your shoulders sometimes. Even
We
it would look really cool.
we can do that as a performance inside of a proper building, perhaps.
We'll work it out. We'll figure it out.
I don't want to upset Quimber any more than I already have.
Yeah,
He's mad that I broke the roof.
you can get better if you don't practice.
Well, I mean, I don't think the roof can practice on supporting my weight.
That's true.
What are you three here for?
I need a costume.
Do I have to wear a costume?
Yes.
I'm almost afraid to ask for what, Del?
For me to wear while I'm riding on top of the roof when we come into town.
Can I maybe just have some like hammer pants and
Yes.
just no top?
Yes, that's
Can't touch this.
what. That's perfect. Some hammer pants. That's what we need.
Just some MC Hammer pants, something plenty of room to move around in. I don't need a shirt.
She immediately grabs you, Essifer, and pulls you towards the cart. And she looks over and she goes, "Normally, I wouldn't say this would be okay, but we could really have some fun with this. What do you think we should put them in?"
I think let's dig through what we have. Don't we have something from they left us from the Blue Veils? Thought we picked up some of the menswear as well.
Oh, I'm sure
But
we
let's
have.
take a look. If not, if we've got some spare tent fabric, it would work perfect.
Decimus are. I'm just looking at Decimus and Karis and going like, guys, what are your thoughts on cod pieces? Like,
What's a cod
you
piece?
think that? Well, it's like a shiny piece of fabric or metal that goes over your hammer.
It's smaller than your loincloth.
You guys
I-
down for that or?
Do I still get to feel the breeze?
Well, this would be for when we perform.
Is there plenty of room for movement?
We can probably something out. Sewers and stuff here.
I mean, I think
Sewists, I think, is the official term.
I think I may need something custom made.
I mean, it's all going to need to be custom made.
I mean, at least you're a normal size.
Del,
Well,
Yes.
for the record, if those have to be custom made, that's on you. I ain't touching that.
Sure that we can find a sewist in town that can do
Well,
this.
Plenty of people have seen me naked.
Let's see if we can come up with something. It should be interesting to say the least. I will let your companion Esper help me with figuring out the specifics, but I'm sure we can come up with something.
Green, please.
Green.
Okay,
Oh, and now he's requesting colors.
Do we
You'll get what you get. It depends on what we have suitable.
do we have anything like stone colored?
Oh my god.
All right.
How
so,
about if we just roll you in the dirt?
I can do that. The
right,
less clothes,
so
the better.
if anybody, this is going to be a danger in my world, but we'll find out, and this should be extremely fun. Anybody has any ideas of how you would want either Del or Decimus to be dressed, please donate your not bits. What am I looking? Your channel points, and the highest channel points will be given that option. that opportunity to dress one of them.
Reason.
Nothing without nothing with a shirt for me. I don't wear shirts.
You're gonna get a full suit, man.
Nope. I'm not wearing a monkey suit.
You'll do what the audience says.
That's right.
It's probably going to be 12th tone.
It will probably get ripped during performance.
Or alternatively, if
So-
you toss us a Twitch Prime or a sub, you just get to decide what one of us dresses like.
There you go. Yeah, you give us a sub or a Twitch Prime, you get to decide one immediately.
All right.
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
So, is that a yes for the handsprings beside the cart on the way into town?
But let's work with the eventual goal of doing them like somewhere more dangerous.
I mean, well,
Not on top of the carts, please. We
Okay,
need them to
well-
stay whole.
how about we make one cart with a reinforced roof?
It's a great idea.
I don't feel comfortable standing on the roofs of these carts at the moment. They don't support me.
You know, I really
All right,
think
boys, it's time for you all to leave.
We're not getting dressed.
We'll make your costumes, and you can come pick them up later.
All right, I'm gonna work on some handsprings, I guess.
Karis, look, what if we built our own cart? Like, just over time.
I'm listening.
Then nobody could tell us what we would do. We could do whatever we wanted to do in there.
Can we store lots of ale?
We could have all the ale.
I'm not
And we
going
can have-
anywhere near that cart.
Thick, reinforced, like, Goron-sized roofs.
And sushi.
And sushi.
And,
Weird
I'm
books.
thinking that's a great idea.
Weird books for Karis.
Yeah.
Smart people things. Great idea.
We could have a library. Like a
Sound pretty good.
like
Maybe-
a swimming pool.
Maybe like
All right. Out.
A
Out.
bathtub.
maybe like some sharp
She starts to literally push,
axes.
like, very
Oh.
gently out.
Well, Kenna's going to be gentle. Essifer is not. Especially
much
since
stuff to
Dell's
do.
kind of like a stand-in brother. Go!
We have so many things to do, guys. Let's get to work.
Oh.
So, as everybody is aware, anybody who's joined us or who hasn't heard about what's happening right now, is Kenna and Essifer will be designing Dell and Decimus's outfits for the upcoming acts. So if you have ideas or suggestions, please put those in the chat. Meanwhile, after everybody is left and Kenna continues to shuffle through, just tossing fabric and all sorts of stuff out, and she pulls out another chest out of a spot and throws the chest open, and you can see some of these are very similar to the normal jester look. And she's like, "Well, I have a couple of these from the last troop. Snuck them on, just in case we ran into some people that we could use these with and perform, and we could always use a good comedy act." And
We
she
can
pulls
do
out-
that.
She pulls out this small red fez hat. And this would be really funny on Decimus. Just saying.
Wear that.
Do you have any ideas?
Yes, actually, I do.
Okay, well then we need to get to work because we have a busy busy night. What do we need? What do I need to get?
Well, we've got that here. How much of that eyesore colorful fabric is in there?
And you can just see her just tossing yards of this stuff out of this chest. She's like, I think
It's
we've got.
perfect. They're going to be matching.
Oh, goody. And she pulls out a whole box of just needle, thread, everything, and she's like, "It's been a while since I've been excited to make a disaster like this. Let's have some fun with it."
Oh boy. I don't want to know.
If you don't hear it, you're fine.
Mel worships the god of jesters, so it's not going to bother me.
I don't worship any gods.
Though he does wear that really strange green one. We got to find something to clash with that, just to get under his nerve.
Maybe you can share that.
All right.
What is it?
So,
Oh, I like that.
oh wait, what are we?
With the red fez and then the green jester hat, we'll do it. That and the green, it'll be perfect.
Oh god.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, as you continue to go through the night, and Malia and kind of wanders over and looks as you guys are tossing all this fabric around and listening to the conversation. And as she does, she picks up another needle and she's like, I don't know a lot, but I can actually do decent. And she starts grabbing this long fabric and just starts knitting away these pants of this this green, like, I wouldn't say I'm trying to think of the word, but it's an old, it'd be hilarious in all honesty, like pastel, like floral pastel color that she's weaving together into these giant pants. She's like, oh, this will be fun. And they're super puffy, and she puts these little bits of twine at the ends of them so that they can be tied, so they almost have this like flowery look or flowy poof to them. Weave some twine at the top so that they can kind of pin together in his large waist.
Decimus, you know how much you love your mallet, your big hammer. They're
Yeah.
making you hammer pants, dude. What more would you like to wear than hammer pants?
Well, I mean, as long as they're spacious.
Maybe we can put the little frilly thing around his neck. That makes
Oh god.
put the red fez hat on.
Oh yeah.
But no shirt. Remember, no shirt, just the collar.
Just the collar.
Just the collar.
Just the collar and the little fez.
All right.
You said that.
And then Kenna's knitting away at another red, almost similar to the red gold, but much
Sewing.
more- yeah,
Sewing, not knitting.
Yeah, sewing. My words are mixing. Sewing.
Taylor.
And throughout the night, tailors.
No, they're called sewists.
Sure.
We are not.
She slowly
Seamstress.
weaves and tailors the outfit to Dell's description of what she thinks he should wear. The morning rises, and both the outfits have been placed in a corner away from everybody to be seen. She kind of slides the chest to the side. And you can hear the birds chirping and the sounds of the town as you start to come over the hills near the King's High, or off the King's Highway, into a large opening outside the gate, the walls of Tothenshire, or well, the outskirts of Tothenshire. Quimber looks over and he goes, well, looks like we can find a good place here to set up, shall we?
Oh, there's some sound.
music going.
There's a very important poll going on in chat if you guys want to weigh in so we can settle this dispute once and for all.
As the person who's making said outfits.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I mean, with that aside, the three of us are very busy. I know that Ezephyr is busy lovingly crafting us some costumes, and the three of us, are we going to try to like chop down a tree for our wagon?
I mean, yeah, we can definitely
absolutely.
gather some
Let's
wood.
do that.
I can chop a tree down.
So as you guys start to get ready to hop off and head over to the forest area, Quiver looks over and goes, "Now you all wouldn't be going out and getting some trouble, would you? We have a lot to do. We
Yes,
gotta
they
go."
are.
No, not trouble, just wood.
We're going to make a wagon.
And with that, we are going to transition over to our carnival, as everything will slowly be set up, and this is how it will look.
Oh,
And thank
what
you
do we got here?
again, Catnip, for this wonderful image.
Is it still loading, or?
Shouldn't be.
Here's the fog of war on.
Oh, yeah.
It's, all,
Mm.
it's
Yeah,
dark
turn
on
that
our
off.
end.
It's just all black.
We just need to put our characters in there.
Oh, that's right. That's what it is. Let's move you guys in.
Hey, I can see things.
All right.
Ooh. Ooh.
So, each of you, please pick your tents.
Are we able to turn the fog of war off?
But our viewers can't see it.
On.
Yes.
Yeah, if we can just
can
like
see the
turn the
beautiful map.
fog of war off, that way we can see like all the tents and everything. Because all that is just
I
dark
keep running
and
into
whatnot.
walls.
Yeah, I keep running into walls too.
Are we better?
No,
Nope.
and I can't even move my person anymore.
You have to click the little picture of the man.
I know,
And on the top
I
left?
have that selected, but like the picture reloaded when I clicked on my person, and now I
Reset
can't
the
move
fog.
him.
Great. What do we do,
It's a
y'all?
work in progress, guys.
It
I
is.
think you have to change the global lighting.
Yeah, so there's no way to just turn off fog of war?
We just gotta figure it out.
Automatically disable global illumination. So I thought I turned it off.
It just keeps resetting, or at least that's what the message that pops up says, is resetting fog of war.
Yeah.
Oops.
I think you have to do it on the scene.
Is the music still too loud, or? I did turn it down.
I don't know. I can't hear a thing.
Well, I'm just waiting for chat to let me know. Okay, cool.
What is going on, y'all? So we have just moved to Foundry, and every once in a while we do find little snags that we got to work through. Give us just a second.
Because we don't quite know how to work it yet.
We're still working through it. Yep, you're right.
Great system,
we need-
just learning curves. Learning curves.
Learning
If we need to get super down and dirty, what we could do is we could actually capture James's screen because he won't have fog of war, and we
Oh,
could.
yeah.
If we can't figure out how to turn it off here.
Well, we can't turn it off. He has to.
Yeah.
Well, I said the royal we.
Colors, square, bit,
Check.
shading,
The global lighting settings.
global illumination.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
hey,
should be
whoa.
an
Don't do
option
that.
there so that it isn't just where we see our line of sight, but everything.
I have that set. Do I have to? Oh no. Well, y'all, say good.
Token vision. I think maybe uncheck that.
Yeah, that's what.
Ah, there we go.
Neat.
Hey.
Sorry
We
about
fixed
that.
it, guys.
The only thing is I still cannot move my person, but I guess that's not a huge deal.
Are you on the right click?
My guy's stuck.
No, make sure you're selected on the right thing.
Yeah, I am
Oh, that-
selected on the right thing, and I can't move him.
In the person thing, do you have the square brackets selected?
Yeah, I do.
Can you move him now?
Nope.
What did you break, Decimus?
I told you I was in the process of moving him, and then see, there we go. Now I can move him again. But
Don't move.
I was in the
Alright.
process of moving him, and
Probably
then
still reloading.
the map reloaded.
All right, cool. We're back. Sorry about that, y'all.
I live here, James.
What's that?
I live here, James.
Where's here? Oh, okay.
And I'm up at this
Yep.
turquoise
up-
roofed cart.
I live right. Oh, it doesn't let me go there.
You're the worst, Decimus.
Yep.
I
Really
think our see how the little cursor's running all over the screen.
Yeah, see, it doesn't let me do it because it's considered a wall.
I can help with that. So.
I sleep on the table.
Oh, that's not what I meant. Where's your
Wonderful.
Down
There's a
here.
cart over by me that you can sleep in, Decimus.
Oh, yeah.
All
You
right,
can sleep
so,
under it even.
Yet again, thank you, Catnip, for this wonderful image, for helping us out with building this.
Decimus, I just see you keep trying to grab that token and it's just not doing anything.
Hold on. We're getting there.
Oh, are you driving it?
Yeah.
Oh, this is revolutionary.
So yeah, as we lose followers through all this, that's fine. We'll be okay.
That's as close as I can get to it.
That's fine. We're good. And as they slowly start to put all the carts and stuff back up and prepare you guys for each of your acts,
I'm gonna practice my
Kenna brings out of the cart the two outfits. And hands them off to Essifer to give to Del and Decimus. About to remove your guys' from this.
I'm gonna practice my
Big pile of fabric that I carry.
I'm gonna
across.
practice some back handsprings and backflips.
Okay. And slowly but surely, the Brendil will set up at the front, and she'll start to cast ritually this display of almost a prestidigitation, but much more developed.
Who does this?
You're closer to a major image.
Who does this?
Brandil.
They can cast prestidigitation, and they made me go wash off in the river? Man.
Yes.
They made me just wallow in my own filth.
She
You
is
deserved it.
she's ready to, as she does, she blasts off this humongous firework that turns into a phoenix that kind of just goes across the sky and heads towards Tothenshire. And as it gets right over the entrance of where Tothenshire would open to, it just explodes into multiple fireworks, releasing and letting people know that you have arrived, that you guys are ready to perform. So
A wizard always arrives precisely when he means to.
exactly.
Okay, well, I'm gonna walk over here and say, "Hey, Del."
Ready. Ready.
As he's running through the camp.
Yes, how can I help you?
hands off this volume of fabric.
Okay, I'll be right
One
back.
for you, one for Decimus. Take your time. Let us know if you need any assistance.
Here's your costume. And I'll go in my tent.
I just hold it up and I just look at it and I'm like,
It's a costume.
that's a thing.
Oh, for Decimus, it's these hammer pants. One half green, one half very colorful eyesore, and a matching collar, and a fez in red. And for Dell, it's a full-on Jester's outfit in the same eyesore, multicolored fabric, and green, including the hat with the little jingle bells.
I already have a hat.
I just take off my loincloth
one
and put the
matches.
pants on.
So glad I wasn't here for this.
No shame.
No shit.
It's natural.
Gives the Kevin Sorbo disappointed.
So, as you guys start to see the crowd head your direction, and at first it's only a few people, but your job now, as well as our wonderful friends here on Twitch, is to provide entertainment for the town. So, who is standing at the entrance? And please, if-
That'll be me.
The entrance
Okay.
of our campsite?
yes, the entrance to Carnival.
Is it just going to be one person, or
It can be multiple
I'll be with him.
at the beginning.
Us big tall boys. I'll be with him.
Right.
Okay.
Please don't hit anybody with your book.
And I still have
No
my leather
promises.
bracers on because I assume that these people don't like blood touched.
So, interesting enough, no one likes blood touched, but nobody complains during the Carnival. At least, not at first. And you would know this.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'm not even gonna have my leather bracers on. I'll just keep my rock arms just out and flashy.
Yep. And of course, you see a few people start to walk up, and one is it looks like a father with two kids, one in each arm, and one on each arm, and he kind of walks through, and he looks at you all, and the little boy, he's got this ragtag set of just curly brown hair that kind of droops down over to the side of his face, and he looks over and he's, Daddy, that guy's big. Yes, he is. Well, go on.
Oh
Tell
boy.
us what you're going to do.
Well, I don't know if you or your children mind getting a little physical with things. I don't have any props with me. That's all for the stage act.
Oh. Well,
No harm to be done. Just a
I
mere
guess we'll.
show
we'll
of
have-
physical strength.
And thankfully, as you kind of dictate what is being said and whatnot, Brandil walks up behind you and fires off this small, like, sparkle out from behind you as it kind of flashes over each side of your shoulders, and you can see the kids clap and get excited, and they start to walk past.
Are there any ladies coming in?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Alrighty, if I can find my character sheet. Oh, not great.
far as you can see right now, the first couple people that have come in, there hasn't been any ladies. Mostly this is kids, families. So I mean, if you want to try to, if you're specifically trying to connect with a husband wife, if you're trying to speak to the wife or anything like that, there's a couple families that have come in, but nobody, no single.
Yeah, no, I'm respectful. I'm not gonna try and be Mr. Steal Your Girl. But until I see any sort of single ladies or something of the sort that are
Oh, the single lady.
interested in a good-looking, extremely strong man, then I'll just being completely unaware of how stupid I look with this little neck frill and fez. Then I'm just gonna be flexing my muscles and stuff, doing some push-ups, some flips, you know,
Flip.
Do a
just
backflip.
typical things.
Okay, so you kind of keep just the physical prowess at the front.
If any
showing
kids get physical or anything, then I'll pick them up, throw them on my shoulder. You know, the usual thing.
Yeah. Okay. And with your demeanor, though a little frightening at first, you're kind of like a lovable teddy bear, where you immediately become less frightening as you start to interact with people. The rest of them start to slowly pile in and whatnot, and you can see Kenna set up this large stage in the middle there, where she and Esper and Malia and Ganel are starting to dance and perform. And you get about a crowd of about 10 people around this area, and some of them are the less friendly and respectful, but for the most part you're getting families at the moment. And Kenna steps off the stage and she kind of pulls Ganel off, and then Malia hasn't really, she's kind of staying off to the side, and she's, well, they seem to have a liking for this stuff. Might as well show them what you have. Perform your act, and hopefully we can make a penny or two. Or coin.
Is he playing for this, or is Crendon playing for this?
Your choice.
I'll probably let Crendon do this one.
Okay.
Just because he is actually a bard. I have my own plans over at the archery range.
Okay.
Oh God, we're in trouble now.
He starts to kind of, you see him pop up with his lute, and he starts to play a little tune and get Esper into a rhythm. So what does your act look like, Esper?
See, how do I describe this? Well, she's got wearing these long flowing garments where the sleeves are real long at the end, they bell out, and the pants are very much like extra wide bell bottoms, so that when she flows, all the fabric moves through the movements with her. So she does this series of steps that takes her weaving from one end of the stage to the other with many pirouettes and turns. Nothing that you would say belly dance, more of almost kata forms.
Okay. Please give me a performance. And I'll say with advantage due to Crendon's playing and you having that rhythm.
Oh, nice.
That. So as you start to perform and people start to cheer and clap and get excited, coin starts to be thrown onto the floor and whatnot, and you gather up in just your small performance about 22 silver altogether.
smile and wave and bow,
And he
curtsy.
kind of pops up next to you and bows as well. Plays his tune while he tries to dance away. And Kenna kind of takes Malia up on stage as well and kind of does a duet with her, spinning her around, showing off the flowiness of her dress, keeping the entertainment going. Crinan kind of slows down, so she uses more of a tap dance to keep the rhythm rather than an actual song. But the song can be heard throughout the carnival anyways, as they continue to play. In the meantime, some people have headed down to the archery range, where Dell has been playing his violin and floating around that area. And what are you getting into down there, Dell?
So Dell is strumming on his violin and saying, "Ladies, gentlemen, come all. See the greatest feat of manual dexterity that you will ever see in your tiny, tiny little town, and rejoice with the joy of gambling on just how dexterous is he." And with that, I'll step forward and kind of trip on my own feet and do like a little pratfall, and then I'll
laugh.
stand.
Some of the older people there, including one of the fathers, is just like, "Oh, I'm a gambling man. I'll take you up on the offer. What's the bet?"
So, do you see those 6 bottles lined up at the end of the archery range there?
I do.
What if I were to tell you that in one throw, I could break all of those bottles? Would that be incredible, yes? Yes, of course it would. So, I will bet you 1 silver for every one that I hit, you give me, and for every one that I miss, I give you 2 silves. How does that sound?
Oh man, couldn't pass up something so easy. It's a nice way to make some extra money while I'm here.
Right. And with that, I will, is there anyone else in the crowd who wishes to make the same wager?
And you hear a couple people pipe off, "I'll put a silver in, I'll put a silver in." So you've got 2 or 3 people that have said that they're interested in joining the bet.
Right, so, witness and be in awe. And I will stand here,
Okay?
and I will cast the Lotus of Blades. And in my 15-foot cone, I will send a shower of spectral daggers that deal 3d6 damage to anything standing in their way.
Ooh.
Yes!
Please roll me your attack roll.
There's not an attack roll, James. The bottles get a saving throw.
Oh, I don't get a nat 20.
James. Yes, indeed. The laziest of bottles.
The laziest of bottles.
They're no match for
Well,
my...
jumped out of the way.
And with that, all 6 bottles break.
Aha! Again, the power of the mighty Jinx has guided my blades to success and left you all in enraptured ecstasy. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, that was disappointing, but a bet is a bet. Pulls out his 6 sills, places it on the table. You hear another guy, "It was a sham!" And you see Quimber kind of walk over and place his hand on him. And? It was a sham or not, you bet. Unless you can prove it.
Oh, daggers. Would you care to go again, sir?
Fine.
All right, but this time, 10 bottles. And 2 silves apiece.
Couldn't do it a second time.
You couldn't?
The other two are like, no, we'll pay our money. They slam it down, but then they all cross their arms and watch intently as this other man is giving you a bit of a trouble.
Yes. Sure. Quimber, maybe you could rustle up some more gambling. You can only do this a couple of times a day, you see. So, yes. So again, I will stand at the end of the range there and do it again. Yes.
Better, all 10 break. See
Participation.
Their eyes wide, and they look around as if trying to find where the daggers came from, but don't see anything. Illusion?
Of their minds, they hear a jester chuckling.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you did it, but well done.
Greatest knife thrower of them all.
He pulls out this satchel, 20 silk, put it on your table.
Spent for the day.
For total, you've made 32 silk.
Not bad.
You all being talented at what you do. Anyone else? Anyone else?
I got nothing until the big show. If anything, then I could just see if anyone wants to arm wrestle, but I figured that'd be saved for the bar or whatever drinking hall there is.
You know, Decimus, I'm all out of knife throwing. We could try out some acrobatics. I could stand on your shoulders.
If that's what the people want to see, I'm pretty good at acrobatics.
What
I
the
think
people
we
want to
can
see,
put on a show.
what the people want to see is you and me, baby.
What they want to see is a large man like myself do some crazy acrobatics.
Smaller man on top of his shoulders.
Sure, let's give it a shot.
All right. So, do you want to describe the act? What do you have planned?
Well, shoot, I thought that was on you.
All right. So here's
You're
the
the
plan.
dexterous one. I'm the
Here's the
bottom of
plan.
the pyramid.
You're going to do a backflip while I'm on your shoulders. And while you're doing a backflip, I'm going to do a backflip and then land on your shoulders again.
I think we can pull that off.
It'll be amazing.
Esther pulls Ganel to the side. Let's go over and watch this.
Let's do this. She kind of chuckles, walks over with you, holds your hand tightly as you walk over with it.
James. What do we roll
See
for
here.
that?
We're going to roll 2 acrobatics checks.
One for each or 2 for both?
One for each.
Okay. Don't fail me now. Hot dog!
All right.
Yes.
Nice.
So as you watch one, the other, they both flip, and immediately they both land on each other, and the whole crowd goes and soups straight to you, watching as people did backflips and caught your attention. And about the time that you do so, you hear as the fireworks are going off around, and it starts to get a little dark.
Tent, everyone. Follow.
You all head to the green tent here. I need to make it a little bigger next time. But right now, the placing of, or the size of the tents have been shrunk tremendously from the troop that you were originally in because of the fact that you guys are brand new and still growing. Hopefully, you guys can purchase a new, larger tent here in the next few towns to enhance your run. You do see, however, that the only person that you haven't seen through most of this is Vanessa, who is still a bit saddened and disgruntled by the fact that she has yet to find a beast of burden that she can tame and show her prowess and expertise with. So,
Hey, Decimus.
Yeah. What's so funny?
I think Decimus.
what's up?
I'm
What?
lost.
I thought you guys were talking, so I stopped.
It's being awkward at each other.
Oh,
He said, "Hey, Decimus,"
yeah, and that's all.
and
I heard.
then nothing.
So
Huh?
as the crowd
Just
starts to
chuckling.
grow and pour into the small tent and kind of circle around it heavily, you can see more bits of fireworks, of magical fireworks going off, and Quimber kind of sets up right around here with a little ring, and you can hear him in his burly voice. Come on, come all. Come check out the show that you've been waiting for. I will take on 10 men single-handedly. Who of you are worthy and believe that you can take me on? And you can hear some people being like nervous, and others are like, and you can see a couple of the guys are now coming in, and they seem to either be ranch hands or blacksmith apprentices, and all these different shop apprentices that are a little more spry and whatnot. They go, "We'll take you on." And he says, "Well, built your crowd, Decimus. You're up. If you need to, I can take him for you, but I feel you can do this."
I thought you just said you were taking him on.
I did, but I only got 6.
That's fair. I got this.
He walks over and taps you on the shoulder.
I walk in the ring.
And you immediately see 2 of them wide-eyed and a little more nervous than they were with Quimber. Quimber walks up behind him and he goes, "I can take this guy down. So if you can take him down, then you can get a run at me. My wager's a little more expensive though. 5 silver per person who wants to step in the ring with this man."
I don't bite.
You can see 2 guys kind of step over into this little drawn ring that's been like dragged out of the dirt. You hear everybody as the oohs and ahs start to pour out. And one of them, pretty burly guy, he's got kind of seems to be a little heavily dirt, or have a heavy amount of dirt on him, either from being within the blacksmiths or the farms around the town. He's got this like heavy brow to him and a strong chin. And he walks up and he goes, "All right, so how do we want to do this? Am I going to push you out of the tent or out of this ring? What is it?"
I believe the rules are either knocked out unconscious or out of the ring.
Well, sure, why not? He says, "I think we can take him. and they each slap down 5 sil in front of you. And Quimber walks over and he goes,
You more into wrestling or fists?
"What?"
You more into wrestling or fists?
Wrestling's probably a safer route. I wouldn't want to rough you up too much.
Of course not. First one out of the ring or taps?
Out of the ring. See if this works. He's like, "All right, boys, let's get it." And they all rush you.
I don't want to be that guy, but remember you do have a free advantage that
I
are
see
fit in
that.
12th zone.
I do
Oh.
appreciate it.
You have one, but
The DM also has one.
James also has one.
Ooh.
We're going to roll together. So they're going to get a... they're going to hold their advantage. They're going to take they get a +2 altogether for their athletics.
Okay, so this will be contested athletics checks?
Yep.
Okay. It's going to be a series of them, right?
Yep. 3.
Okay.
3 wins.
All right. I'll go ahead and save my advantage. I'm gonna go
They're
ahead.
going to use theirs immediately.
Okay.
Just to hopefully do a quick push.
Okay.
12.
16.
Barrel all 3 of them just, and with almost like clothesline, you push them backwards.
Stone wall.
Right. Next, go
I'm
again.
gonna go for trying to just push them all back.
And with that, before even the third roll, you almost like lean back a bit and then bull rush with a wide wingspan and just push all 3 of them back immediately across the thing, or across the threshold. Oh, you're a big guy. Oh. Wouldn't want to see you in a bar.
It takes a lot of work and a lot of years of training to get this stout.
And you see them kind of all holding themselves in like spots where your arms had hit them. Feels bruised and made of rock.
I'll just bash my forearms together, something like that.
Well, press D. Quimber goes, "Well, I think that's wonderful.
Anyone
Seems
else?
split stuff. You can break almost anything with that ball of his. Who would pay? Would you?" He starts pointing at certain people in the crowd.
Anyone got something they think I can't break? I'll just pull them all off of my back and wield it.
See them gasp in awe. Well, seems we have no gamblers right now. Maybe tomorrow.
Well, we're gonna be here
That's
for a little while.
Fine job. Everybody, please give a round of applause to our strong man.
I'll flex and gloat just a little bit.
Well, it seems that our evening is coming to an end. Seems that tomorrow we will have our big show ready for you. For tonight, bid you all a wonderful evening. And with that, you can see Brandio launch a couple more fireworks out in the sky. This one, a massive dragon kind of goes up in the air completely and then just spreads out into two and flies off in both directions.
Ooh, fancy.
You can hear everybody hooting and hollering and cheering. And some of the children's excited to come back the next day. But slowly and surely, it gets dark.
Bar time?
In the carnival.
You should have told stories for the people.
Ooh.
Stories of your heroism and deeds. I bet people would pay to hear that.
And as everybody starts to rally back up towards the fireplace, you all where you need to be. I need you all to roll a perception check.
Ooh, perception.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Will I be able to just store that advantage for like next week if I don't use it?
Rules, James. You just decide.
Let's see.
Right.
I will say no.
Okay.
Because if they would have, I would say if somebody actually wants to give advantage with a subscription or with donations,
Okay.
yes. But for channel points, no.
That's fine.
Yeah, because I would try to power game and just save like 30 advantages.
Yeah,
And
right.
then use them all in a boss fight.
I just don't know how long we're going tonight. I don't know if we're going all the way to midnight.
No, we're gonna wrap it up here shortly. Because as you guys continue to sit around the fire and talk about the enjoyments of the night, you start to hear rustling throughout the campsite. And while some people have already went back to their tents, it seems there are some people that are disturbing the area. Me?
Is it time to pancake some more fools?
Have the kitty's attention, Dell.
What?
Oh, not that one. It's not the one I'm looking for.
The mouse is moving around the screen. My kitty is watching it.
Let's trying to find a good.
He's very interested.
Oh, this is getting kind of eerie.
There we go. And as you start to hear shuffling within the bushes and behind the tents, you can see people kind of shadows moving in and out of areas. You hear a voice in the distance. Your kind isn't welcomed here. It's time for you all to leave.
I'm gonna call it back. That's not what everyone else that was here earlier said.
Yes, but you're not welcome here. You all are cursed. And it's our job to drive you out.
What
Believe
curse
that
do
you
you
were-
speak of?
We know your kind. We can sense it.
I believe that you will find that anyone who messes with someone cursed such as we ends up cursed themselves. I myself used to be just an unimaginative, untouched, untainted human until I farted on one of the troopers that came to my town. And ever since I've been cursed with these marks upon my face and been unable to even have the compassion of my own family and loved ones. Are you sure that
And
this
now
is what
he's
you
a
wish to do?
cursed fool.
What do they call that? An eye for an eye?
Awesome.
And now he's a cursed fool.
Well,
I will roll to lie on that if you want me, James.
go for it.
I do have. I'm
Persuasion.
going to link an ability. Is that deception or persuasion, James?
Deception.
I'm going to link an ability that I have
Okay.
from Rogue called Wily Tactics.
Oh god.
At first level, your proficiency is doubled either forgery or disguise. I chose forgery. You also have advantage on all charisma deception and charisma persuasion checks.
All right.
I'm real good at lying.
I will say with your words, you are able to use that.
Nice.
Oh,
Good
Strangely
old,
enough, so you do give a good talk well.
good old fart in the face story.
In all honesty, I'm sorry to hear that. But you are now
Same crime
tempted
that
in
I
a way
did.
that you need to be removed from this world before anything else becomes cursed. And that's what we're here for. So, be quiet. We won't try to make too much of a mess. Or you can leave.
I don't
We're
try to
not
not
leaving.
make a mess.
he always makes a mess.
That's why I don't try.
He goes by it naturally. He can't help himself.
It's the vengeance of the troop. And I would like to try and use my cunning action to hide.
In
I
this
just
way,
want
a very
to
good call.
start sprinting
There's-
towards
Smash things.
whatever the voice that was talking to us is. I'm sprinting that direction with my maul at the ready.
So as you guys are speaking with the voice hidden within the darkness, one of the men, kind of covered in dark clothing and has a dagger out, charges at you, Del, from out of the shadow. And as he does, his blade ready, coming straight down at you. That's where we'll pick up next week.
No.
Alright.
Thank you all again for coming. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all of our new followers, our raid, and we hope to continue to get the community excited and connected. So I'm going to real quick link again our Discord if you haven't, if you thought about it, or if you'd like to come join us and chat throughout the week, help us with ideas, and as we present different polls and other things to keep the community connected. That is our plan. Come join us, have some fun, and until next week, I don't have a catchphrase anymore because I don't want to use the last one because it's copyrighted. But and the Great Wizard is our lovable friend, and I do think we need to find a different one. But I hope you all do have a good week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, good night.